what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, awesome. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of the everyday kind of vibe for us. And here's Lydia. What's up, Lydia?
This is something that we started to do since I got sick, is to do grocery pickup. So I order it, and then Brent, usually on his way home from work, will pick it up. And so we don't have to go out, which helps me. So
Look at her. Isn't she sweet? Anyway, so yeah, this is the haul. Let me flip the camera around here. So, Lydia, why don't you take us through what we got here?
some fruits and vegetables. Not a big haul today, just something to get us through. Since our freezer is stuffed, the pantry is full, so we're good.
This is Lydia's passion right here, is food. Like, she likes to feed the heart, feed the soul, and I don't complain. So, yeah, one of the cool things that we got on sale actually is these right here, which if nobody's ever tried them, they're pretty tasty. They're from like what, Japan, right?
I don't know.
Anyways. Yeah, we figured we just kind of tell you like what we're doing. I mean, it's pretty mundane right now, but might do a ride tomorrow, so I'll try to take you along for a little bit of that anyway. Yeah. All right. We'll see you next time. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's the next day. Just wanted to kind of touch base with before we get going on a few things here. Last night was a rough night. Didn't get much sleep. I was spasming most of the night. I don't know if you can tell right now, but spasms aren't kind of at a dull roar, but migraine's coming back. Lydia's actually working right now. Lydia works from home, so we'll check in with her later, but I got a couple of things that I got to do today, and I'll take you along. First things first is I'm going to take you down to the shop that we got set up, and going to fix up Lydia's cane real quick. She's got bursitis in both hips, but it's worse on one side, so the doctor advised her to use a cane until she gets patches in, but that's a feet and a half to get the patches in and all that. So we're going to do that. Then I'll introduce you to what I like to call the mistress, aka my motorcycle. Got a couple of different names. Hope you guys enjoy that. I'm not going to be able to take you along on the ride today, just because I don't have that set up yet. We're working on it. So hopefully the introduction with maybe some B-roll, of you guys like hearing it start and stuff like that, and maybe I'll have Lydia later on take some footage of me taking off and coming back, but we'll see. Yeah, I just wanted to give you guys kind of an update as far as like how I'm doing today, and our videos are basically going to be like a week long, so if you see like wardrobe changes and stuff like that, that's going to be normal because it's not going to be the same day most of the time. It'll be several days out. But all of our videos are going to be every Saturday. So we'll check in with Lydia later, but I'll take you down to the shop here in a few minutes, and we'll fix up Lydia's cane. I just got to cut a couple of inches off the bottom. So fun fact about Lydia, she's only 4'11", so everything's shrunken. But yeah, we'll do that, and then I'll take you along for like a conversation about like our podcast, and hopefully you guys might like some of that stuff. But all right, yeah, let's go. All right, we're back down in the shop. It's nothing much, pretty dirty, but it's our shop. At least for now, anyway. Now, our garage is over there. So, the shop and the garage are actually separate. We'll go in there and check out the bike here in a few minutes. But this is what we got to do. So, I don't know if you can see this or not. This is Lydia's cane here. I got this for her a while back. She really loves this cane. The problem is that if you see this mark right here, if it'll focus on it, that mark right there, that's how much we have to take off. So then once we take it off, I actually have to grind it down so the bottom will fit on. So without further ado, hopefully I got the right angle here, and let's get hopping on it. All right, got that taken off. Now I just got to grind it out. So over here, let me try to move the camera angle here. That is what I'm using right. It'll steady out right there. So just need to plug that in and then we'll get going on that. All right, that's what we did. Got it cut, got it shaved down. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually burn this a little bit and sand it so it kind of blends in with the rest of it. You can see how it kind of has that burn look. She customized it quite a bit, so she crochets, so she made this little crochet thing, and then she put her favorite Bible verse and stuff on there. So let's burn a little bit, and then we will go from there. Where did I put the burner? It's a good question. See the tank. Where did I put it? Might have moved it in here. I'll be right back, guys. I don't know. Oh, it's upstairs. Anyways, I'm going to burn this a little bit, and I'll sand it, and I'll be right back and show you guys the end result with the bottom on it. All right, be back in a second. All right, we're back. We just got it sanded a little bit and burnt, sanded it down. Did a little custom spray paint for her. Last step, rubber piece. Smack that on there. Make sure it's got on there good and tight. And put her little thing back on, and voila, we customize a little bit. Hopefully that'll be at the right height. Let's go upstairs and find out. All right, we're headed upstairs to see what Lydia thinks about her cane. Got it customized as much as what we're going to be able to anyway. upstairs here. Obviously, the shop is in the basement, so. Alright, so Lydia's working really, really hard, but I want to at least surprise her with this. Let's see how she's doing, though. Welcome to the office. This is both where we do all of our recording sessions, as you can see here. And there's Lydia hard at work. Hey, Lydia. I wanted to see your reaction on camera here.
Make sure they can't see my computer screen. Her proprietary information.
Well, then come over here a little bit. Sorry, guys, she's at work, so. And ta-da! That's still wet.
Oh. Yeah, my cane's pimped out. So.
What do you think? Is that the right height now?
Yeah, it is. I'm just short, that's all.
Understandable. So, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. I am always a cup half full type of girl, even before I became a Christian. I've always seen the world in a positive light. I always try to see the good in absolutely everything, even if it's really bad. So, I take joy in the fact that Jesus is King, God is still sovereign. That's what gets me through every day.
Amen. Well, we'll talk about a little bit of your history for the folks later on, okay? I don't want to keep you from work too long.
Okay.
But there you have it, folks. That was her reaction. I think we were all hoping for something a little bit more like, yay, but that's just how she is. All right. I'll check in a little bit later with y'all. Hey, what's up? Back again a little bit later. And I just wanted to show you guys like how beautiful Middle Tennessee is. Look at this. Look at this. This is what I get to spend every single day doing. Oh, but wait. There she is, guys. My 2020 Moto Guzzi V7. This is my pride and joy right here. So, we'll do a little bit of beef footage starting right. Gotta start it up. Alright, at least wanted to share that with you guys. I can't unfortunately take it on rides yet because I don't have the setup for it. But yeah, that's my my little spaghetti machine, as you saw. And I get stopped a lot and asked about. I'm actually a part of the 59 Club as well. We'll cover that another day, or at least at some point. But about to go for a ride, try to go to the chiropractor and maybe potentially get my neck adjusted a little bit, and pick up a bar of soap. I'm a bit of a diva, I guess. I like how do you want to call it? Specialty soap. I like smelling good, like looking good. But yeah, that's all pretty superficial, right? I'll catch you all back later. We got a friend coming over. I'm going to smoke some chicken, have some pizza. It's pizza night for us at our house every Friday night. So hope you can join us a little bit later in the day. And stay cool, guys. It's starting to get hot. All right. Catch you later.
I guess I learned my lesson. I see that you're a blessing. I think that it's time that I finally quit messing around. You're like gold in a mine I found. Let's get out of here. Let's hit the town. Let's climb mountains with no fear of looking down.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back a little bit later, and this is going to be kind of interesting. I used to be a licensed barber down in Florida, so Lydia asked for a haircut. And simultaneously, what we're going to do is we're going to have her share some of her story as well. So without further ado, you kind of already know what we're doing with her hair, so.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I should start. About 2 years ago, I started having breathing issues, but I ignored it because, well, when you don't have insurance and you live in the United States, medical costs are expensive. So I ignored it and ignored it. Then, by the grace of God, Brent got a really good job with really good medical insurance, so we finally started going to the doctor. It turns out I had really bad type 2 diabetes and ridiculously high blood pressure that I had no idea I even had. Because I was always told I had low blood pressure. So I was put on medication, and I have both under control now, which is good. But I still kept on getting breathing issues. It was really bad. And then all my muscles started to hurt really bad to the point where I could barely walk, barely stand. Then May 27th of last year, we were walking around the mall in Nashville, and by the time we were almost done, just moseying around the mall, I could barely stand. I could barely walk. I couldn't even lift my purse. It was excruciating pain. I could barely breathe. It was really bad. And the doctors didn't know what was wrong with me. They thought I had lupus. Turns out it wasn't that, which is good. Then they thought, okay, it could be fibromyalgia. Turns out it wasn't that. Well, May all the way through Thanksgiving, November, my breathing was so bad that I could barely walk down the hall without gasping for air. Well, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving of last year, I called up my husband at work saying, hey, you need to take me to the hospital now. My chest hurts so bad, I feel like I'm having a heart attack. Well, he takes me there, and my oxygen was in the 50s. I was gasping for air. They're like, what on earth? So they immediately put me on oxygen, got me back up, and I tested positive for COVID. Turned out I got COVID pneumonia. And I was in the hospital for 9 days. Then I came home and was given oxygen to be on 3 liters of oxygen, and I've been on 3 liters of oxygen ever since. Well, during the midst of all that, to figure out what was going on, all my joints started to really hurt. So my general practitioner got me an appointment with a rheumatologist because certain blood work came back positive, and I think it was an ANA test that came back positive, so they referred me to a rheumatologist. Turns out I have rheumatoid arthritis, but interesting enough, my body aches and pains went away when I went on oxygen. It turned out I had CO2 poisoning. My lungs were not filtering out the carbon dioxide like it was supposed to, and my carbon dioxide, it's a special blood work, they test your vein at the hospital, and it was in the 80s. So I was given a BiPAP machine, which I'm still on to this day. But now I've been on oxygen since last November. I have to wear it all the time. But praise God for technology, because I have a smaller machine that I'm able to use out and about. And we curiously actually named my lovely breathing machines. The big one at the house is Darth Vader. because it literally sounds
Which
like
you
Darth
may
Vader.
actually hear in the background a little bit.
It sounds like Darth Vader, and the long 50-foot cord that follows me around everywhere in the house is his cape. And then I have the little travel one. His name is Darth Bane.
Put your head down just slightly.
Because he's the bane of my existence. And then, of course, the machine that breathes, the machine that breathes for me at night. It gives my lungs a break to get better. His name is Darth Maul. So, after Star Wars, because that's literally what they sound like. Sounds like Vader. And then, ironically, the machine is black. So, and turns out, I actually have bursitis in both my hips now. And I have to use a cane to walk, to give my hips a break. That was what was recommended by my rheumatologist. We're waiting on some patches, like pain relieving patches, lidocaine patches, and if those don't work, I will have to get shots in both my hips. But all I have to say is when people ask me how I'm doing, I genuinely tell them I'm doing well because I'm at peace with all this. Because at the end of the day, Yahweh is still king. Yahweh is still sovereign. That's never going to change. And if you believe that like I do, no matter what hits you, you have peace. And my God ordained this. He knew this was going to happen. He didn't just knew it because he's omniscient. He ordained this for my good, my sanctification, which I desperately need every day, and for his glory. And his glory alone. So I praise God that I wake up every single day. I praise God for modern technology. I praise God that I'm able to serve him another day. And some people that may be listening to this channel, may not like that response, but it's the truth. And I stand by that because by God's grace, I am alive. My body may be failing, but my soul is at peace. So, well, that's my story. And I want to know a little quick tidbit. About 6 months ago, my hair was down to my hips. I grew it out for 10 years, but with me getting sick, I couldn't handle it anymore, so I asked my husband, who is a barber, as he said, to cut my hair, and he cut about 13 inches off and cut it off to a little above my shoulders, and I've loved it ever since. It's been a lot easier to manage.
Do what I can. Happy wife, happy life, right?
But that's my story. Sorry I'm a little out of breath, but that's my story, because when I talk too much, I get out of breath. So, but that's it.
So yeah, this isn't a typical like Friday night for us, to be honest. I mean, like me cutting her hair.
We have a wedding to go to tomorrow, so I'm
Yeah.
pretty.
I mean, you're always pretty. I don't know what you're saying.
Well, it is a typical Friday because we are having pizza and wings.
That is pretty typical. So on occasion, what we'll do is we'll smoke them. I have a smoker that's smoking actually pizza right now. If you've never had smoked pizza, it brings a whole different element to it. But,
yeah, we usually have some sort of pizza. I usually make the dough from scratch, but I've not. It's been a week.
By the way,
So
she also has celiac disease. If that wasn't enough, that's your longest diagnosis, is it not?
polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one too.
So part of our story is, unfortunately, about 9 years ago, I was told I couldn't have children, and so I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. And yes, there are a lot of women out there with PCOS that do have children. So that's awesome. I'm just one of them that can't. And it took me a long time to be content with that. But what really helped me was not just encouragement from others, but also the book, A Rare Jewel of Christian Contentment. You ever need a spiritual slap in the face besides reading the Word of God? Read that. It will help you be content with whatever life throws your way. And just to rest in God's grace, knowing that He is not just omniscient, but He ordained everything that happens. Because He is Yahweh, He is God, He's King, He's sovereign. And I rest in peace in that every single day.
So I want to make this point because I made this in my blog the other day. Check it out, by the way. It's called 1,000 Miles to Nowhere. I believe it's on Blogger, right?
Yeah.
So I believe personally that you can be content but not satisfied. Um, and that's kind of how I am generally is I'm content, but I'm not satisfied by any means, with a lot of things in my life. And I think that there's an aspect of that that's okay. It can be dangerous, but
Yes, it can be dangerous, but that's also part of our human sin nature, and that's something you have to fight and sanctify every single day. And so,
so fun fact about Lydia here. So when we first got together, right, she actually knew some of the music that I listened to, which was great, but stylistically, right? So we're gonna dive into a little bit of subculture here. Stylistically, she's a mod. Now, those of you that know like the mods versus rockers lifestyle, awesome. If not, I'll try to explain. So back in the day, which was in the '60s, in England actually, there was two groups, and one group was the rockers, and they primarily listened to rock and roll music and rode motorcycles, wore leather jackets, on and on and on. These are like the greasers here in the United States, I guess is like the best way to kind of explain it. But nevertheless, that was one group. Now they started actually from on record, probably 1949 to 1969 was probably like the official years, quote unquote, of that scene. But it lived on, and it went actually into the punk scene. But there was the mods that came out, and the mods rode scooters, wore suits and dresses, and they listened to a lot of jazz music, which was like contrary. They also were big fans of British rock, which was very, very different than American rock at the time. And so, even though that Lydia loves the same music as me, she dresses like a mod, and she actually has a scooter. But since she's gotten sick, she hasn't been able to do that. So we might feature that in one of the videos, just kind of, say, hey, we might sell it. Just kind of depends on what we can do. But that's right now, sitting in the garage. I've taken it out a couple of times. I get strange looks every time. It's pretty great. But nevertheless, I mean, yeah, so that's just a little tidbit into our household, because, mods and rockers aren't supposed to get along. But here we are. And I mentioned earlier, as when I was showing you guys the motorcycle, that I was a 59er, and that also is part of that rocker history, which I'm not going to get into the full details of that right now. But if you guys are interested, put what you like to see in the comments. As far as if you want to hear the history of the 59 Club and more about the rock and roll scene from that era. I literally have hundreds of records from all different eras, and a good majority of our close friends consider me like a bit of a music historian in that sense, because that's kind of how Lydia and I live, we'll take you guys on an adventure that we like to do on occasion. We'll just be like, you know what, let's go to Nashville. And we're about an hour away from Nashville, give or take. And one of the fun things that we do is we will literally go there for either breakfast or lunch. And I can't even make this up. And then we'll say, all right, record shop. And we will literally scour record shops for certain records that either just, trigger our fancy for that day or something that we've been looking for a long time. So if you all find, there's an blues album that we're looking for. Remember what it's called, Lydia?
no, sorry.
It's called We Three Kings.
Oh, yes, that's good.
It has B.B. King, Freddie King, and Albert King on the same record. And I've been looking for that for a couple of years. So if y'all know where it is, tell me in the comments, because that's a great, great album that I'd love to add to the collection. Well, we'll share the collection with you one of these days. Just trying to work on our haircut, and as you can tell, I'm not a cosmetologist, so I don't have a cosmetologist approach. Not that I'm trying to like say that I'm an official barber anymore. This is just something that I do for Lydia. Used to have a couple of friends that came over, but scheduling issues for all that. Started to have some pretty bad spasms earlier, and I went to the chiropractor, like I said. It seemed to help, kind of guided me in a little bit of a direction to kind of figure out whatever this is. They seem to think that I might be dystonia, but we still don't know yet officially. So y'all let us know what you want to see as far as content. You know, like basically, like I said in the first video, we're primarily going to do vlogging and like motorcycle content and like subculture. But if there's something that you guys specifically want to see from us, like our podcast talks about a lot of apologetics, which is like worldview analysis, stuff like that. That's on all platforms, by the way. So if you guys want to check that out and maybe have suggestions towards that, one of the conversations that Lydia and I were having earlier is what the next topic was going to be, and I had told her something, and she kind of gave me a strange look at first, but I didn't tell her why. So this particular topic is kind of a hot topic right now as far as like Hollywood wise, right? So I'm actually going to do like the historical analysis of, well, vampires and werewolves. They're actually making another Twilight, if you can believe it, which I thought that they had enough. So yeah, because of like current events and because of like the movies that are coming out, I'm going to actually feature that as something that we're going to talk about. We're also doing some series that are coming up that should be pretty interesting for a lot of people. I'm not going to give away those yet because those are pretty exciting. I'll just say this: Lydia's going to do one of the episodes pretty much by herself. Like I'm helping her, and so is my recording partner. But yeah, that should be pretty exciting for a lot of people because it's coming from a completely different perspective. So Lydia, what movie were you watching?
Some sort of hitman movie on Netflix. It's a
Oh,
comedy, supposedly. Looked good. Probably not very comical. The only comical movies that have been on Netflix lately have been the Kevin Hart ones. And that says something.
Yeah, kind of.
Even the Adam Sandler, as much as I love Adam Sandler, he's to a point where he's like, I've been there, done that, and I don't care anymore.
Well, I think that's like, so like, both Lydia and I are in our mid to late 30s, so like, Adam Sandler's comedy for us is still funny to a degree, because like, we grew up through the
Billy Madison.
the Billy Madison and the Happy Gilmore and, all those. And like, for us, that was hilarious back when we were growing up. But I guess the comedy's kind of changed as far as like culturally too. If you guys agree or disagree, let us know in the comments for sure. Because we're supposed to have a friend over, but unfortunately, Lydia's not feeling the greatest right now. But hopefully, this will help her feel better a little bit.
Yeah, I just want to be able to go to the wedding tomorrow. I'm excited.
Yeah, which we intend on at least taking pictures of it. We're going to ask permission before we have to record or anything. But you'll see us all snazhed up a little bit.
Young love.
Yeah, this couple is that's getting married tomorrow is pretty dear to Lydia and I's hearts. When I was in the hospital earlier this week for what was going on with me, and still going on with me, the husband to be actually came into my room right after his shift because he's a nurse at the same hospital. So that was really, really sweet for me, just to see a friendly face. Almost done. Biggest thing with Lydia's hair is like she's got a lot of hair. It's just not like horribly. The individual strands are not super thick, but she has a lot of hair. So we just try to kind of thin it out and texturize it and stuff like that, so it's a little bit easier for her to manage. Because she's got to have that oxygen mask on, unfortunately, which does not make it easy for sure.
Yeah.
Now,
That's another issue altogether. It's another topic.
we're not gonna say what's right or what's wrong here.
So that's just another topic.
That's a whole nother topic in itself. But Lydia does. I have a conviction that I used to have long hair down my shoulders, and I cut it off because I was convicted by what my pastor had said in 1 Corinthians chapter 11. And again, like, take that how you want it. Nobody's really in agreement as far as culturally with that. So, but one of the pastors that has inspired my life a lot is Charles Spurgeon. And he actually had a similar conviction with First Corinthians 11, and his wife actually, and it was talking about the mid to late 1800s as well. That was not uncommon for women to have head coverings. So that's the main reason as to why Lydia decides to do that, is because she is convicted by it, and Susanna Spurgeon also had a head covering.
Yeah, I don't cover my hair all the time, but when I'm at church, I do.
And agree or disagree, it's personal conviction. That's where I stand with it. Like, kind of like an insight into our lives, to be honest. Like, that's really how we're treating this. And, both of us are new to how all of this works. So yeah, with that, I mean, it is what it is. You're going to hear me say that a lot.
Yeah, when you're done with the hair, I'll clean it up. And then you can go check the pizza and the wings.
So I hope you guys have enjoyed what we've put out so far. And we'll be back on tomorrow. I think this is probably going to end it for today. As far like once I get this haircut done for Lydia, I don't think we're going to record too much more today, just because we're both getting really tired. I'm dealing with another headache coming on, and it's getting harder and harder to manage, to be completely honest.
And my lungs are just sparking.
What's that, Lydia?
My lungs are sore.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard what Lydia just said, but she said that her lungs are sore. So it's one of those things to where, like, rest is important, people. Like, it really is. Like, all of us need to rest more. We're in a culture where it's not a thing that we even talk about. You know what I mean?
One day I'll have to have the camera up and record my Saturday routine. Oh,
totally. Yeah, it's
not tomorrow because of the wedding, but I work really hard on Saturday to get all the cooking done for the Sabbath.
I used to work 6 days a week, so
yeah.
So Lydia used to get all of this done while still being on oxygen. So yeah, I think that'd be good, for you guys to see like how she's able to do it with the oxygen and with the the hip issues and stuff like that, because it's.
Oh, Wednesday nights, I really take having a day of rest off from chores.
Yeah, Sunday isn't just
very serious. Like that's big.
Right. So like Sunday isn't just like a day of rest for us. Like it is the best day of the week for us. Like it's the Lord's Day, but we also both simultaneously need to learn to rest because it's taken me a lot to call it quits. You know, when I clearly need to.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Saturday morning, wedding day, and we're going to take you a little bit, take you around a little bit, kind of show you what we do for Saturdays. As far as my tremors and spasms and stuff is concerned, it's mild right now, believe it or not. Last night wasn't too bad, but let's check on Lydia to see how she's doing. What's up, Lydia?
Not much.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Cool. Well, this is one of the many skill sets that Lydia has is crocheting. She's actually, this blanket is actually for the future married couple. So what are we doing?
We're going to go get brunch and a cup of coffee.
Yeah, y'all heard that right. The guy that looks like me likes brunch. All right. So we're about to go out to the car, and we'll take you along for some of it. One of the frustrations that we'll share with you guys is just finding handicap parking, especially in Clarksville or anywhere for that matter. So we'll share some of that because it can be kind of comical, especially what comes out of my mouth. I'll try to control myself. Sorry if it's shaking my right hand shaking a little bit. So yeah, we're about to head out, and hope you guys enjoy the content that we're going to put out today. And yeah, come along. Hey everybody, so this is the mean streets of Clarksville that we're headed down, and now we're trying to find handicap parking for Lydia. So one of two things are going to happen. I'm either going to find some, which is awesome, or I'm going to drop her off. And where are we headed, Lydia?
We're headed to a place called the mailroom.
The mailroom, yeah. All right, so the first place that we're going to check is this parking garage, and it may be a strikeout because I forgot that we have a little market, I guess, or
Farmers market.
Farmers market. And I always forget that it's going on for Saturday, to be completely honest. So we'll check in here first to see if there's a handicap. There probably isn't. Handicap is actually really hard to find in this town just because it is a military town, and so many people come out of the military fully disabled in various different ways. So we'll check in here first. There is a park. All right, we'll share a little bit of the walk there. It is a little bit of an uphill walk. Say hi, Lydia.
Hello.
It's a beautiful day for us, too. So I just try to make sure that Lydia's with me because she has a hard time walking. Yeah, welcome to Clarksville. A lot busier than what it used to. We moved here in 2019, and a lot has changed. since then. Look at the cool shoes that Lydia's got on. Aren't those great? Those are vintage. And then I got my, yeah. And here is the mailroom. This actually used to be a federal building for almost 100 years, I believe. And now, yeah, it was a post office. It was literally a mailroom, and this is it. So when we first found this restaurant, that funny enough, we didn't realize that it was a restaurant because we thought it was a federal building because it says literally a federal building. So we'll come back at you when we're at the table. So welcome inside to the mailroom. One of the reasons why we come here is mimosas. Yeah, I know I'm not really painting a tough image, am I? Lydia was just saying how her lungs are hurting today. It's pretty humid here. Once the food comes, we'll share that with you guys, but just wanted to show you like one of the coolest hangouts in Clarksville, in my opinion. Food's great too, by the way. You definitely get what you pay for. I'm getting a breakfast burger, and Lydia's getting an omelet, but it's a bacon omelet. So we'll come back at you here in a minute. All right, the food just came. Check this out. And here's Lydia's. All right. We'll come back at you in a little bit. We got some runs to do, so.
Somebody else ran and grabbed something. Is there anything else? Here's something cool that you get with your bill. You get a postcard, and it's random, different each time. We have several at the house, so when we get to the house, I'll have to show you the collection we have. But I thought it was a cool feature. That's all for now. I just thought that was a cool feature. Figured we'd share that.
All right, we're headed out to get some coffee somewhere. We're debating on where we want to go. One of my favorite places is actually just down the street. Excuse me, my voice is starting to go out. It's part of whatever I'm going through. Been having that is actually getting worse today, but anyways, we'll let you see where we pick when we get to that point. But food was delicious, by the way, if you were curious. All right, sorry for the dark light in here, but we're at La Costa Cafe and Lounge, probably one of Lydia and I's favorite places in town, mainly because they have a Cubano. When we lived in Florida, that was like one of my go-to drinks, and it kind of is like reminiscent for me of living back in Florida and like having like Cuban and Puerto Rican food all the time and stuff like that. But it's probably one of our favorites. And funny enough, I'm gonna flip the camera around here. We had no idea that this lounge was back here. We've only ever seen the front of it, so pretty neat. So yeah, with that being said, I mean, we're just might have to go get my phone looked at. Lydia should be back in a minute, but today's been kind of rough in a certain sense, but just mentally, still dealing with spasms and call it what you want, the shakes, the tremors. But mentally, it's it's always hard to prepare for like a wedding and stuff. I mean, like Lydia and I did not have a traditional wedding by any means, so it's it's always, like a challenge to have those conversations for me, in a certain sense. But it should be a pretty amazing event. Two good friends, both really, 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 really amazing people in different ways. Have really neat stories. Maybe one day we'll have them on the channel and just kind of share their stories and stuff a little bit. But anyways, we'll come back a little bit later and see what's going on.
Well, we finally found me a parking spot. We're going to go inside a Publix.
Apparently, this is like the one that's close to the Florida. Like Lydia and I are always trying to find stuff like Florida, even though we don't want to live there anymore.
Yeah, but that's all we wanted to say for now. We'll let you know what we find, because we may grab some drinks that remind us of Florida. So, toodaloo. We got a few items at the grocery store, some British items, some gummies, some juice shots, and then a couple of smoothies that we're going to throw in our bag for the wedding, because we're not sure how long it's going to be. But those are the Publix. This Publix is legit. It even has an upstairs seating area, which we haven't explored yet, but we will. So thank you for listening. Bye-bye. And toodaloo.
All right, we just made it to Trenton, Kentucky, a little bit of a detour before we go to the wedding. And we were going to go to one of Lydia's favorite shops here in Trenton, Kentucky, which is a shop that is dedicated to crochet, sewing, and stuff like that. But they have a festival going on, don't they, Lydia?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll try to record what we can.
Can we park here? That'll be fine? Okay.
Hey, y'all. It's been a rough day. I've had a lot of really intense spasms. A lot of tremors. My head's hurting really, really bad, but I wanted to end this video with final thoughts. Look, if you feel like you're alone when you have different ailments going on or going through trials and tribulations and stuff like that, like, understand that you're not alone. There's many, many people out there that are struggling and suffering the same way that you are. And I just wanted to end the video with that thought. And that for you to know that, I'm vulnerable. It's not easy to come on here and, in a weakness and show the vulnerability on a public scale, but there's many of us that deal with these types of struggles daily, and we have a voice that needs to be heard, and it's okay to not be okay. This is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys stay tuned for more content. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.